Welcome to Keys to a Successful Literature Search. I'm Catherine Downton.
And I'm Emily Ludeman.
And we are the librarians to the School of Nursing at the Health Sciences and Human Services Library. There are 3 parts to this module. In the first section, we will be talking about databases that will be particularly important for your research and search strategies and tips using CINAHL as an example. Part 2 provides access to some of the library's general PubMed tutorials. Even if you already use PubMed, this will make you more efficient in your searching. Part 3 includes tutorials that will teach you to use RefWorks. RefWorks is a citation manager that will help you collect and organize citations and cite references in your papers. Upon completing this module, you should be able to identify appropriate resources for locating nursing and health sciences literature, and construct and refine database search strategies efficiently and effectively. Journal articles can be searched in a number of specialized databases. When conducting a literature search, it's a good idea to search at least 2 and possibly more depending on your topic. You'll inevitably find some duplication, but there's also unique content in each of the databases. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you about some of the major library databases that are going to be important for your research. CINAHL, many of you are probably familiar with. It's the premier database for nursing and allied health literature. It's not the largest database out there, but it does contain more English language nursing journals than any other database. Medline, which comes in several different forms, the one that you're probably most familiar with is PubMed, is the largest database for searching biomedical or at least one of the largest databases for searching biomedical and healthcare literature. And the library has 3 different versions of Medline. You can search PubMed, and we also provide access to an EBSCOhost version of Medline and an Ovid version of Medline. So you can choose which one you prefer. In this tutorial, we will be using PubMed as an example. The Cochrane Library is the resource that you will use to search for Cochrane systematic reviews and also controlled trials and other resources that Cochrane makes available. And Embase is a large biomedical database that is somewhat similar to Medline, but the coverage is not identical. So if you're trying to do a really comprehensive search, we recommend searching both Medline and Embase. The library also subscribes to a number of databases that cover specific topics. So for example, PsycInfo, which is used frequently by nurses, covers literature in psychology and the behavioral sciences. If you were doing any research related to social issues, SocIndex can be a helpful database for searching for articles in sociology and the social sciences. And ERIC is an excellent education database if you are searching for articles related at all to teaching, education, and learning. Of course, the library subscribes to a number of additional databases. If you have a difficult topic and you need some advice, please feel free to contact either Catherine or Emily, and we can help you identify additional databases that you might want to use in your research. In this next section, I'll be talking about preparing for your search and developing an effective search strategy. Your research question can be used to establish a search strategy. So one of the first things that you'll want to do is determine the main concepts within your research topic or question. Based on this, you will develop a list of potential search terms. So you want to identify the most important terms in the search. And in addition to that, it's very important to develop a list of alternate terms that you might want to use for each of those concepts. So these will be either synonyms or related terms that are similar to the concept. The search example I'll be using today is, does exclusive breastfeeding help prevent obesity in young children? So to demonstrate what I mentioned on the previous page, breastfeeding and obesity are the most important concepts in this search. In addition to those terms, we will want to include some alternate terminology in our search to expand the search and make it broader. So for example, under breastfeeding, we might also include breastfeeding as two separate words, breastfed, breast milk, or infant feeding. And there may be additional terms that you will come up with as you begin your search. Obesity, you might also include obese, overweight, childhood obesity, or pediatric obesity. Once you have identified the most important terms in your search and come up with a good list of alternate terms and synonyms, it's important to understand the most effective way to combine these search terms together. Using the connector words and and or will allow you to combine terms efficiently into a single search, and finds articles in which all concepts are present. Connecting words with or will find articles in which either concept is present. To clarify this, if you combine the words breastfeeding and obesity, you will retrieve articles that include both of those terms. So both terms will have to be present in all the articles that you retrieve. So this will make the search more focused. On the other hand, if you combine the words obesity or overweight, you will retrieve articles that include either or both of those terms. So generally, you want to use or when you're searching for two words that are similar or are actually synonyms, and this will broaden the search. Another helpful search trick is truncation. Most databases will allow you to add truncation to the root of a word. You'll also see this called a wildcard symbol occasionally. So for example, if we use the root word nurse, N-U-R-S, and add an asterisk to the end of that root, you'll find articles that contain variations on this term. So this will retrieve articles that include the word nurse, nurses, nursing, and so on. Also helpful is the feature in many databases that will suggest terms or actually help you come up with search terms that you can add to your search. These are called subject headings. In this example from the CINAHL database, if you type in childhood obesity and check mark the Suggest Subject Terms box, CINAHL will suggest the best possible subject headings that you can use for your search. And you'll notice in the box below that it has suggested pediatric obesity as the best term to use. We will be demonstrating this feature later in this module. Finally, after you've completed your search, you can focus your results by adding database filters. These might include type of publication or methodology, date range, language, sex, age of population, and more. An example from PubMed is shown on the right. Keep in mind that you may need to modify and refine your search a number of times before you get it just right. Most importantly, you need to be flexible when you search. If you're having problems finding relevant articles, there are a number of strategies that you can use to improve your results. For example, you might want to consider adding more synonyms to your search and connecting them with or. You might want to try limiting results to the past 10 years rather than the past 5 years, so expand your date range. You can adjust your population. So for example, if you're searching for adults only, you could adjust the search to also include adolescents. Most importantly, make sure that you're using more than one database. So if you're not having success in one place, you might have better luck searching a different database. This concludes the first section of this module. In the next section, these search strategies will be demonstrated using the CINAHL database.